about the slowing economy, and the World Bank has also come out to say that, you know what, growth for the year may be slower, maybe at 3.5% versus 3.8% previously. What are your thoughts on how that would impact businesses?
There's no question. It's a double-edged sword. We've got a weaker economy for sure, but if you look at tourism, we're projecting something like a 12% growth to 41 million tourists, making Thailand still one of the top destinations in the entire world. And this is a large part of the economy, and that part's going to be bullish and buoyant.
So you're going to gain in the second quarter because first quarter numbers weren't so great.
Well, that's right. But the first quarter numbers, the reason they weren't so great was because of Europe. That's the off-season in Europe, and now NH, which was twice as big as our original Thai business, had a huge impact. But I think the analysts understood that, and the share price went up, and is still moving upwards.
So how good will it look in the second quarter? And give us a sense of the kind of growth, the kind of numbers. Be as specific as you can.
I think the stock exchange prohibits me from doing that, but we're nearly through the second quarter, and it's looking very, very strong. Probably the strongest second quarter we've had in a long time.
Can you say whether it'll be a record number for you?
It'll be pretty darn close to a record if it's not a record. So it's very strong.
For your businesses, you've often said that you need scale because you don't just want to expand in Thailand, you also want to expand internationally. After your acquisition of NH Hotels, what are the plans now?
We're really looking at food now. Food is now tailed behind. The local market we've seen for the first time is had a strong June month. China has done very well for us. That's been a bright spot with our China food division. But we lack the international scale that we acquired when we bought NH. So I think the next step for us has got to be in the food category.
Where are you looking at?
I think
Are you in talks?
We're in talks, and we're looking globally.
Where in particular, globally, how far? The U.S., I know you're looking at China in particular too.
You know, we're always looking at things that have an opportunity in the emerging markets, but most likely it'll have a base in either Europe or the U.S.
Can we expect acquisitions to be announced this year?
I think we would like to hope so, but we've just managed to get all of our financing well placed permanently for the NH acquisition. Our debt equity ratio is supposed to drop back to about 1.3 by year end. We'll probably be announcing some very interesting recycling steps that we've taken, where we'll sell some of our hotels and lease them back.
You're expanding at a time when the global economy is kind of slowing down and there's rising tensions within the U.S. and China. Isn't that impacting the way you look at the world and your growth story?
Not really, because, in a market like Thailand's probably going to benefit from any disputes between China and the U.S. The other country that's going to probably benefit greatly is Vietnam. And these are two very important markets for us, both for food and for hotels.
Where will the bulk of your growth come from in the quarters ahead?
The bulk of our growth is going to come from Europe. NH, was a major acquisition for us. It was twice as big as we were at minor hotels.
How has consolidation come along?
Extremely well. We normally when you take over a company, you send your people there to figure out how they're going to run it. In this particular case, we brought 5 of the NH senior executives into Thailand to help us. They're far more advanced than we are on digital technology and some of the revenue management techniques. And now that we're a group of not just 100 and something hotels, we're now over 500 hotels. It's their technology is going to be incredible to help us drive going forward. And I think you'll see those results in the third and fourth quarters.
Bill, recently you made headlines because you challenged the airport authority when it came to your bid to run some of the services within the airport. I mean, give us a sense of the context of it.
I think we felt that we were not given the opportunity to present our bid. We feel we were very qualified based on the terms of reference that AOT had given. So we have appealed their decision, and we'll see where that leads. The whole airport development won't take place. The changeover won't be for another year and a half. So there's plenty of time to debate the pros and cons of that. We didn't bid for duty-free. We think King Power has an incredible position in that area. We bid only for the food and beverage and retail components of the airports.
Of which you have a very strong presence already.
We already already have a very strong presence, but most of that presence, a lot of it is through King Power, which has been the past winner, an operator of that, and an awful lot of it also we deal with AOT. So we think for AOT to claim that they don't really think we're capable when we've been working with them for so many years in such a straightforward manner is a bit of a surprise.
Would it be a game changer for you if you were to win that bid?
Not really. It's, for us in the scale of things, we're talking about, a lucrative business. Maybe there's 50 restaurants in the airport for us, max. But, that's we have 2,400 restaurants worldwide. So it's pretty small.
Bill, before we let you go, I just want to take a look at the politics in Thailand with the new Prime Minister. What kind of changes are you expecting?
You're asking the wrong person. I've been here 56 years, I've seen so many changes, and you should ask me whether this is a negative change. I'm not sure it's a negative change. I think, the key component for Thailand is stability. I think we have a chance to see stability remain. We've seen it for the last several years. It's helped the economy. Yes, growth is dropped a little bit, but you got to expect the new government, for the first time, we have a democratically elected government that has to deal with politicians. This is a whole new game. And General Prayut's got to have his hands full now balancing everything off and trying to get Thailand back on track.